Hi, so I'm Kathleen. I'm a 3L law student, a teacher, and an LSAT tutor. I help students, especially those who learn differently, to break down the LSAT into clear, teachable strategies. In today's we're going to discuss the next steps in our reading comprehension question breakdown. This is video 2 of our reading comp videos. So let's dive in. We, in the earlier video, reviewed kind of briefly the different styles of reading comprehension questions, and now we're going to break down the question itself. So the reading comprehension section on the LSAT focuses specifically on question stems, which are your prompts. And what are they really asking, answer choices, and how to spot the wrong ones. And that's what we're going to look at here. This breakdown is designed to help students offer clarity, structure, and examples they can develop their own intuition so that your timing gets better because you know what you're looking at in those questions. So understanding reading comprehension question stems. The question stem is the actual prompt you're asked to answer. And understanding what it's asking is it's half the battle. It's really a lot of the battle, more probably than half. So common question types and their stems. A main point or primary purpose question would say, what's the primary purpose of the passage? Which of the following most accurately expresses the main idea? The author's overall point is. So a strategy for this is to focus on the big picture, especially the introduction, the conclusion, and eliminate narrow or overly specific options in your answer choices. The author's attitude or tone um, is best described as the tone of the passage is most accurately characterized as. So, a strategy when we're looking at author's attitude or tone is to look for adjectives or emotional cues in the passage, trust the author's word choice, and eliminate extreme emotional tones unless they're clearly supported in some way. When we're looking at inferences, we're looking for which of the following is most strongly supported by the passage. The passage should suggest that. So a strategy here is to stick to what's implied, not what could be implied, or not, if the choice goes beyond what's stated or is logically implied, then it's out, it's wrong. Specific details. So according to passage X, the authors mentions blank in order to. A strategy here is to go back to the lines that are mentioned in the detail, paraphrase it in your head, and watch out for traps that change meaning slightly. Function or role of a paragraph or a line. What is the function of the second paragraph? The quotation serves two. So this is asking, what's it trying to tell you as the reader? A strategy here is asking, why is this here? Is it an example, a transition, a comparison, or a counter argument? Organization or structure questions. The author develops the argument by which of the following best describes the structure of the passage? Here, a strategy is to jot down a mini outline as you read. That's mapping. Look for how each paragraph builds on the one before. So one of the skills we work on in the LINK tutoring is the mapping. And I think that's a really strong skill to develop, and it probably gives you the most improvement in reading comprehension. Application and analogy. Which of the following situations is most analogous to the one described? Which of the following best illustrates the principle stated in the passage? Strategy, abstract the core idea, then apply it. Analogies test your ability to transfer the logic, not the subject matter. Important to identify the difference between logic and subject matter. The author's argument, logical reasoning in reading comp. Yeah, in both areas. The author's reasoning is flawed in that. Which of the following would strengthen or weaken the argument? Strategy. This is where logical reasoning overlaps with reading comp, and you want to apply argument structure tools to it. So, what are they really asking? Every question is testing one of these core reading skills: identifying a structure, spotting a purpose, understanding implications, finding key details, or evaluating arguments. Tips and tools for learners: highlight or underline the intent, structure, options, tones, or shifting. Put notes in the margin. This is where you put new idea, author agrees, main point. Use of visual anchors, colors for question types, or symbols for main point or inferencing. Answer choices, spotting trap answers. So I used to say four, I guess sometimes they give us five now, most times, I guess. But so each reading comprehension question has 5 answer choices, and here's what to watch for. So, common wrong answer types. Extreme language like always, never, all, none. The LSAT loves moderation. 2, out of scope. The choice mentions something not discussed in the passage. 3, too specific or narrow, especially dangerous in main point questions. Distortion. Sounds right, but subtly changes the meaning. And half true, one part correct or one part wrong, the whole choice is wrong. So good answers are usually moderate, support directly or indirectly in the author's voice or perspective, and they're reflective of structure or tone. Summary: label question types while practicing. Use consistent colors or symbols, such as blue is inferencing, green is for detail. Practice slow to fast method. First read slowly, then answer questions quickly. Mark trap patterns you fall for. Build a mistake map or use your mistake journal. Print or annotate PDFs, digital reading often. So, what you want to do is when you can print something off and practice on a print where you can do it and then practice it on the computer. All right, so how to evaluate LSAT reading comprehension answer choices. Correct answer traits supported by the passage. Even if it's not stated outright, it must be logically supported. Often phrases gently suggest, more likely can be inferred. So those are suggestions. Those are words are too gentle. Matches the scope of the question. A main point answer will talk about the whole passage. A detailed question answer will focus on specific part method. Accurate in tone and emphasis. If the author is cautious, the right answer won't be overly enthusiastic. If the passage is neutral, the correct answer won't be opinionated. Moderate language. Correct answers avoid words like always, never, or proves. They often use terms like may, likely, some, or best describes. Common types of wrong answer choices. Extreme answers. These are absolute words like always, never, entire, proves, or must be. Why it's wrong? The LSAT favors nuanced thinking. Extremes are usually unsupported. Out of scope refers to something not discussed in the passage at all, may sound related but introduces new ideas or unrelated content, and red flag new terms or examples that weren't in the passage. 3, distortion. Twists what was said in the passage, often just slightly. Example, if the passage says X is unlikely, the wrong answer says X is impossible. Yeah, those are immediately wrong. Watch for shifts in meaning or exaggerations, half-truths or misleading. One part is accurate, the other part adds an unsupported or wrong claim. So often, dangerous, often these attempt ADHD learners who remember only part of the passage. That's right. So as someone who is an ADHD learner, these ones often, if I've only got part of it, they will catch me. So that's something to be to note. Too narrow or too broad for main point questions. Too narrow only talks about one example, and too broad adds ideas not supported by the text. And true, but doesn't answer the question. So sometimes they'll take information that's accurate, but it's not responding to the question stem. Seems factually correct, but doesn't actually respond to the question asked. And the trap, common in interference or functional questions. So how to approach answer choices step by step. Read the question stem first. Know exactly what type of answer you're looking for. Predict the answer. So before looking at the answer choices, predict what you think the right answer should be. After reading the passage in the stem, think, what's the answer in my own words? This protects you from getting tricked by wrong choices. Use process of elimination. Eliminate anything extreme or off topic or distorted. Don't pick an answer because it sounds good. Make it earn your trust. Go back to the passage. Don't rely on memory alone. ADHD learners benefit from seeing the words a second time. Reread the lines mentioned in the questions or related lines. Strategies: highlight key language, use symbols, read answers aloud or subvocal, and track patterns or mistakes. Subvocal is inside your head. Track patterns or mistakes. Keep a mistake log. That's your journal, mistake journal, for types of wrong answers that you fall for. All right, thanks for joining us for this quick tutoring session on Reading Comp. This is slide 2 on Reading Comp that we've put up on YouTube. And if this tip helped you, or some of the tips helped you, we would love for you to join us for more. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss the next LSAT strategy we post, and check out the free study notes and resources that we've put together for you in the links. in the description below. And I hope to see you back soon.